Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Laymen Daily Show. It's so good to be back. I love doing this show in the morning. It's so nice. Good to see everyone here, of course. Leo, good to see you, my friend. CJ, Normalize. Thank you guys all for tuning in. So you guys probably saw yesterday in the middle of the stream, I was copyright struck. Not even, it wasn't a copyright taking of the content. They actually struck my channel. You only get 3 chances. And then after that, you're gonski, okay? Anyway, so what happened after that is I appealed it. I'm like, what? Because it came back as scam, deceptive content or malicious or something, which it is. It's a bit scammy, my content. I'm not going to lie, a bit scammy. But I appealed it and they said, you know what? We're wrong. And I like that, YouTube. Thank you very much. They took it away. It's all good. I didn't lose any privileges. Someone said in the chat before, if you do get strikes, you do lose your streaming and your upload privileges. You do, but I think that's the 2nd time or something. So I'm back. Thankfully, I'm back, everyone. Ethan says, perfect way to spend my birthday. Happy birthday. Everyone in the chat, please give him a big round of applause. I'll give you a big round of applause. It's your birthday, buddy. What a great way to spend it with me. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that. All right, I've got some amazing stuff to show you today. You've probably already seen it, right? This gameplay, but I want to watch it together, watch the whole thing, then we'll talk about it. And I really think that this is like next level. It's just like this quantum leap in terms of gameplay to this. I mean, this just looks so goddamn real that there's already conversations around there about what people are thinking about this and what effect this is going to have on lawmakers and, you know, on Capitol Hill going, games look too real. We gotta make sure people aren't playing this. Anyway, news also, and there's also some trailers that I want to watch with you guys too. Hell of a show today. Hell of a show. What are you reckon, guys? Let's get to the drop and let's do it. I love to see that in the chat. Everyone's saying happy birthday to him. Happy birthday, man. A wonderful day it's when it's your birthday. I always get excited for my birthday. Even if I'm 32 now, I'm still just like, hell yeah, it's my birthday. You're never too old to be excited for your birthday. I really think that. All right. So, guys, I was watching a trailer yesterday which blew my mind. It came out yesterday and it was pretty incredible. So let's watch the trailer and then let's talk about this because this is one hell of a showing. I mean, how fucking real does that look? Jesus.
Shots fired! Shots fired!
Shit, that looks so good, man. It looks so freaking good. Jesus. PTSD game, yeah. Crazy, man. I'm still blown away by this gameplay. They even blur out the faces? How real does this shit look? Far out. I feel like I'm watching like bad content on YouTube before it's taken down. Don't shoot him. I would shoot him.
Where the fuck is Oscar?
Dude. How sick does that look? Man, there's so many things to say on this. Like, firstly, just like, I think any sort of body cam, the way I think that they're doing this, right, and I'll play this in the background, the way I think that they're doing this to make it look so real is body cam is naturally pretty degraded visual quality, right? I mean, when you watch a body cam, it's not 4K. It's like, it looks a little bit degraded. It doesn't look, it looks kind of VHS sometimes, right? It looks a little bit old because naturally the body cam is so small. There's only so much quality they can put into it, right? But dude, that looks so incredible. But also the fisheye lens, the things on the corners, as you guys can see over here, that's really giving that super realistic look too, because we're so conditioned to see this type of body cam with that fisheye lens, and it kind of just puts our brain into this kind of state of believing what we're looking at as to be real. And the blurring of the face and shit, you know, but like just the lighting, like if we just look at that, here we go. I mean, the lighting in the background, dude, I mean, it looks so goddamn real. Egon saying, mind blown. Absolutely, Satnav. Hyper realism. It really does look good. Egon says, this is real? No, it's not real. This is all Unreal Engine 5. By a pretty small dev team, I think. They've been putting this together. Bodycam looks like 2K. Now, Bodycam looks like 480p. What are you talking about? No way. Bird up. Good to see you, my friend. Thanks so much for tuning in. It's crazy, hey, what this looks like. This is just, this is the other thing. The Rule 34 for bodycam shit, it's coming, and it's coming fast. Bodycam Overwatch Rule 34. There's no such thing. What are you talking about? I wouldn't know even where to look for that. I don't know what you're talking about. Mercy? What? Brigitte? What are you talking about? Widow? Come on, guys. It's all about the Soldier 76 for me. This has to be some fake game concept. Look, a lot of people are calling this out and saying this can't be real. We're going to be seeing, and I saw some in the comments earlier too, saying this is not going to be what the game actually looks like. And look, we've seen it before with previous games like Watch Dogs and stuff, right? Games just fundamentally didn't look as good as they kind of presented it in all these trailers. That's a possibility. That's definitely a possibility. But even in these like dark areas, this is going to make it's easier to get away with hyperrealism, I think, in dark kind of sections of any game. And I remember playing Call of Duty. Do you guys remember that Call of Duty game mission where you're in the apartments and you've got to go on with the night vision goggles? And that looked so goddamn real. I think that was like 2019 or 2020. We reviewed the actual game. That was one of the most incredible things I've ever seen, especially in Call of Duty. And man, I mean, this is just taking it to the next level. Ethan says Diva. Diva has a special place in my heart. Okay. If there's any Rule 34, Diva's not part of it. I'll only take Diva to dinner, you see. As from Twitch, Sam, back at it, man. Thanks for tuning in, man. I appreciate you. Can't hurt to wishlist it. It is wishlist possible at the moment. So, like, look at this thing here, right? This is one of those things that you can see that it's a game, right? If you look at those, I mean, they look like they don't look real. So you can see that this is generated, right? Or at least there's maybe some kind of augmentation between some sort of real footage as well as a game put together. But you can see by those like canisters or kind of kegs that this is a game. This is actually a game. This isn't real. But funnily enough, I've already seen people on Twitter call this out and say this is deeply concerning. We're going to have to really, you know, start seeing some moderation in terms of certain games being put in the hands of young children. And I'm not like, oh, game's bad. You know, this game has a gun. Oh my God, it's going to increase shootings. No, I don't believe that. I think we've had violent movies and somewhat provocative and violent music for some time that had a lot of violent imagery or violent ideas behind it or whatever, right? And video games fall into that category where I don't think games make me want to pick up a gun and shoot someone. Sometimes I get annoyed at someone. I'm like, I've been playing a lot of games recently. All right, let me tell you. All right, you better behave. No, but I don't think that games will make people, you know, more violent. I don't agree with that. But this is quite confronting in the way that it does look so real that I think people should be able to play this. But we may see a future where a game, when it is uploaded to YouTube, or it's uploaded in a way that people can view it and they can't distinguish between reality or not, maybe some sort of thing at the bottom saying this is, you know, this is an Unreal Engine 5 game or something might be appropriate. Who knows? We're not there fully. We know this doesn't look actually like, it's not 100% real life. It's getting freaking 99% close, right? But I do see a future where YouTube or like certain community guidelines are laid out that they need people that are viewing something to know that it's a game, right? But who knows if that's fully going to come into fruition? Like if we're really going to see, yep, every game that looks hyper real, it has to have some sort of thing at the bottom saying this is a game. But I do see that in the future of like YouTube's scared of ad revenue going away, or Twitter's like, no, we need to fact check this and make sure that this that we clearly state that this isn't real, stuff like that. That I reckon that might happen. Satnav said it's about normalizing behavior. It's about normalizing behavior. Well, this is the thing. When we get to a point where everything looks so, I mean, look at that car, man. That car looks so goddamn real. I mean, okay, when I pause it, not so much, but when you're like seeing it, it looks so real. Yeah, it's about, I know what you mean. Like there's going to be a time where it's going to look so real that if you know, maybe there is an argument to say when things become so unbelievably real that we just need to clearly distinguish between reality and kind of computer generated imagery. I think, you know, that can happen in the future. Star Wars, please. Star Wars Rule 34, is that what you mean? There's Rule 34 for everything. There'll be Rule 34 for unrecord. There'll be Rule 34 for everything. We need a paintball game like this. Absolutely, Ethan. I agree. Can you imagine that? Miami says, this is insane, dude. I agree. This is absolutely insane to see this. Maciedge? I think I'm saying that right. So it says, so how would that gameplay work? How would that work gameplay wise? I can't even talk. It's so bloody early. It's just me being very intelligent as usual, guys. When a guy is aiming and moving his gun without looking in a different direction. Well, if you've played VR games before, like Half-Life Alyx, you can definitely kind of look around and look down the sights and stuff. It does work itself out. And I saw someone in the comments before saying, hey, you know, like, I'm going to get heaps of motion sickness from this. I got so much motion sickness from playing Half-Life Alyx. But as the game progressed, it got better and better for me. Absolutely. I ended up just having to sit down and just like feel the chair. I'm like, okay, I'm sitting down. It's all good. Yeah. So Birdman says, Laymen spreading snuff around YouTube. That is disguised as a game. Man, there will be a time where as I said, Rule 34, and this stuff is getting so real that I'm going to be promoting, I agree, I'm going to be promoting all the dark and disgusting things on this channel. Why not? That's why you tune in, guys. That's why you tune in. Polly says, again, guys, go to developers Discord. He have gameplay videos running in developer tools. Yeah. Well, I saw this also, actually, or this is just people talking about it. I saw this also. This is kind of running in the same vein. This was released yesterday, I think. This is a new trailer 7 hours ago for Paranormal Tales. And it's kind of the similar body cam, like a horror trailer for body cam. Let's have a look at this.
Teddy! Teddy! Come here, boy! What has got into him?
Now, it doesn't look
Teddy,
as
come
real.
on now.
Doesn't look as real.
Teddy, for fuck's sake.
Oh, that's actually a bit scary. But you can see this doesn't look as real. This does seem a bit Resident Evil like 7 almost, you know? Jesus. All right, so look, there's a lot of fisheye lens looking stuff going around. There's a lot of, you know, I think this is going to be not a genre in itself in VR, but it definitely assists, I think, the realism to be putting people kind of in a state of like, whoa, this feels so real, because that fisheye lens definitely does do things to the quality of the realism for some reason. I don't know what it is. But super excited to see these games come out. Unrecord, I'm definitely going to review that. Definitely want to talk about that. Or at least play it. Maybe even play it on stream with you guys. Actually, it's a bit hard with VR. It's a bit hard to do that with you guys live. But that's a bit scary. That looks a bit scary. I agree. Satnav, nope. Satnav, no thank you. I agree. So what else is happening in the world of gaming? Well, not really gaming, but who's excited for Twilight? I'm not a fan of Twilight. If you like Twilight, fine. I don't want to know you. No. If you like Twilight, actually, no, I don't want to know you. But I do know that a lot of people are going to be very excited for Twilight. I'm more of a Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings is top tier. Then there's Harry Potter, then like everything else, and then there's Twilight, right? I remember watching Twilight in the movies and just thinking, this is just not for me. I'm too much of a man, you see. Too much of a strong man. A gruff white male protagonist. I don't know, it's just not my vibe, folks. But look, they've released this quite close to also releasing that there's going to be a Harry Potter show spanning 10 years, man. They're going to be doing a Harry Potter 10 seasons of Harry Potter, focusing on each book, I think, for each season or whatever. But there's not 10 books, so there's only 7 books, right? So I don't know how they're going to fill in the gaps of those 3 additional years, but they're expecting it to be a decade project. Twilight is coming, and whoever is excited, then you know what? You do you. Who am I to put that down? You enjoy. You enjoy. All right. Messages. Am I even saying that right? Are there any hardcore fans of Twilight movies out there? Yes, there are. I would say that maybe you guys are. Maybe not. I want to make sure I'm saying your name right. Maciej. There we go, Maciej. I think that I would be very surprised if people in the hardcore gaming community love Twilight, but who am I to assume anything? I'm just assuming, and to assume is to make an ass of you and me, as everyone knows that phrase. It can't be worse than the Halo TV show. Look, the Halo TV show I haven't watched yet, but I've seen unanimously no one likes it, and it was a bad show, right? So all I can say is I know it's bad based off what everyone else has said. But I know The Mandalorian was good for Season 1 and Season 2. I've not watched Season 3, but I've watched a hell of a lot of clips on it, and it definitely did look like it fell flat. Akmal says, same cast? I'd be very surprised if it's the same cast. No, it would be different casting. It would be all new, brand new. And who knows, man? Look, it might be good. Who am I to shit on Twilight in this entire segment? It might be really, really good. Satnav, 30% more profits from the 10-year Potter series. Absolutely. They do it for 3 more years, man. That's quick maths. They're going to be making 30% more profit. And you know what? I'm going to tune into the Harry Potter series. I think it could be pretty cool. I think what they did with the original movies was fantastic. I only read 2 of the first books, right? So I didn't read the rest of them. Although I'm a hardcore reader, as you guys of course know. But the movies, I think, really captured some of that brilliance. And I think that if they can do it again with Harry Potter in the series, then great. Zonky, yo Sam, glad to see you back. Glad to see you here too, man. I appreciate you. Cliffy B. Now, he came out yesterday, I think it was. Yeah, yesterday. With a tweet actually says, well, turns out Nexon does own the rights to Lawbreakers. Don't know who Nexon is, but it says... Owen Mahoney, how about sliding into my DMs so we can talk about a resurrection? Who would love to see Lawbreakers come back? We did a lot of coverage of Lawbreakers. Yeah, we gave it some shit. But it was fun. And the game ultimately didn't work out, right? So if you're on YouTube, you're going to be making some memes about things that don't work out. That's just what you do. And if he can come back with a really strong game or a really strong resurrection of Lawbreakers, I'm all for it, man. I'm all for it. It had good bones. We always said this too. Yes, we can have some fun with things in the gaming space, but we always said it had good bones. It just didn't get the player base that it needed for it to really take off. You know? And on top of that, Cliffy B is now coming out with a comic book named Scrapper. It's about a dog that is in a post-apocalyptic time, and he's got some friend with him, and they discover some terrifying truth, right? Now, it's actually, first edition's coming out, I think, soon, but Scrapper is very close to Cliffy because it's close to Cliffy B's heart, He loves his dogs, man. His previous dog passed away, named Teddy, and now he has a new dog named Lady. So he likes to naturally write about things that are important to him. So I will, if I have access to this, I might even read it. Do a review of Scrapper. No, I won't do a review of Scrapper, but I wish him all the best. Wish him all the best. But Cliffy B does all sorts of things. He has Broadway shows. He has restaurants. Of course, he was a very successful game developer when it came to Gears of War and Radical Heights. So he's done a lot of different types of things, and he's just kind of broadening his basket of many talents. Many talents. Now, this is, you know, guys, when you come here, it's not just about games. It's not just about memes. It's not just about glitches. Sometimes it's about culture. I saw this on Twitter yesterday, and I want to include this. There is no rope in this photo. This is from a single block of marble. Look at this thing, man. This blew my mind. This is just marble, this rope. I don't know, I just love culture. I'm a cultured man. And I thought, you know what? What better way today than to bring culture to all you individuals? All you uncultured individuals. I mean, isn't that really cool, though? I mean, it's incredible. It really is. I mean, look at it. It just... Okay, very close you can see it's marble. But, like, it doesn't look like marble when you're looking at it like that. So I want to throw that in. Okay, I think that's incredible. You needed to see that today. It was very important that you needed to see that, obviously. Speaking of very important, you need to see this, guys. This is brotherly love. Two guys doing a number 2, doing it together.
Hey, bro. Do you want to play Mario Kart? Yeah, you want to play? Here. Got you, bro. Yeah, you want to do the mushroom one? Oh, let's do it.
How cool is that?
Yeah.
I think it might be, you know, fake. He might know the dude, but still.
You excited? All right.
It's a bit creepy that you're excited.
I made you Mario.
Look, all I know is if I was in a cubicle and someone was like, hey, do you want to play Mario Kart? I'd be like, get away from me. What the hell? Nah, look, I couldn't walk away not letting him believe that he could beat me. I mean, I have to play Mario Kart first, beat him, then say go away. Akmal, it's all about cultured gaming here, okay? You not only come here for the memes, you come here to understand that marble can look like rope. It's very important. Very important. True, but would take so much effort to make people excited about the game again. I agree, it's an uphill battle for Cliffy B to make Lawbreakers a thing again. But it could happen. I mean, it could happen. You never know. You've seen crazier things out there, right? I'd definitely be keen to play it again, see if there was an uptick. And, you know, if it did actually get successful, then I'd be open to that. Now, guys, time for some nostalgia. 5 years ago today, God of War was released. Now, I remember this. I went to Norway to play this game. We had just started YouTube, a couple of months in or whatever. We were invited to Norway to play God of War, and we didn't really know what this game was going to be. And we, of course, knew the previous titles, but I didn't know it was going to be such a fundamental shift in such a different direction. Norway, so beautiful. We did the axe throwing. We did like archery. We cooked things. We melted things in the blacksmith or whatever. It was good fun, man. It was great fun. Who remembers when they actually showed the trailer in 2016, though?
What for?
A test. She taught you to hunt, yes?
Yes, sir.
Then show me what you know. I am hungry.
Shit, man. Corey's in the corner just like, yeah, fuck yeah. You guys don't know this is going to be the game of the generation.
What are we hunting?
You are hunting deer.
Boy.
Your hunt. You tell me.
South?
Little did we know, I honestly still think that all the games that we reviewed for last gen, I would put that up there, right? As like kind of the definitive game of the PlayStation 4. Or one of. or one of. Absolutely incredible. And God, what a bold choice, really, to take God of War, to take Kratos and do this with it. And it totally worked. It totally worked. I don't think I've ever met anyone that's like, oh, bring back old God of War, man. There's no such thing as that person. And if there is, I don't want to know them. Because this is great. And this fundamentally put it back on the map in terms of not only a huge franchise for Sony, but hey, you know what? It made it one of the most respected titles of last generation, and Ragnarok continued to deliver that quality. Although I've only played like 10 hours of it, or 8 hours of it, I actually need to finish Ragnarok. I haven't actually finished it. Yeah. BV says, God of War 2018 on PS5 could pass for a new game. I actually haven't booted it up. Well, it looks that good, does it? Okay, interesting. Yeah. I know that they... Okay, so PlayStation Pro had the 60 FPS and the quality or the 4K mode. I remember that. But I haven't actually booted up on PS5. But look, it did look good. I mean, it's still a beautiful looking game. Absolutely. So, just wanted to do a little reminiscing with you guys today, because that was good times. Great game. Indie... Okay, so yesterday Nintendo did a Indie Nintendo Direct, and they showed a lot of titles, a lot of stuff that I'm not really kind of... Like, it's not my thing, you know. One thing, though, that looked really, really incredible was Blasphemous 2, and I want to watch that with you guys because I think this looks freaking cool. This is the only thing that I was like, whoa, this is looking great.
Peggy 16.
Just looks sick, dude. Man, that looks mad. I think that's going to be sick. I didn't play the first one, I'll be real with you, but that one is... I absolutely want to jump on that. Indie showcases are usually... It's good that they kind of like frame it as an indie showcase. Not to say that we shouldn't be hyped for indies, but at least we know that we can't expect any major AAA titles from Nintendo. And we recently saw the Tears of the Kingdom and all that kind of stuff, and we saw that trailer. So you know, it's good that indies can kind of stand alone in their own showcase and show their own things. But this was for me the standout. And this just looks sick, dude. I just think this is going to be mad. I'm getting vibes of like Dark Souls meets... what's it called? What's that game now? God. Dead Cells. There we go. Dead Cells. Yeah, big time. So I really want to play this. I'm really keen for this. Well, it had a lot of content. Someone says, yes, I remember. I agree, G. It did have a lot of content on there. So it's good that the indie show does have a hell of a lot of stuff. It showed like 15 or 20 titles. It was quite a few things that it did show. So if you guys are excited for any of those titles, then that's great. But Blasphemous 2 is definitely a standout for moi. Big news, guys. Hot off the presses. US game revenue down 5% to 4.6 billion in March, says Circana. Now, look, it says year on year, it's down 5%. Software comprised most of the month's revenue, 83%, with game content reaching 3.83 billion in March. That doesn't make... It's not a huge surprise. It's not making headlines, really. I mean, I saw this. I had to dig for it, but not a lot of people are talking about this. The reason I bring it in is because COVID is over. Well, hopefully it is. And this is naturally going to happen. We saw recently, about a week or two ago, I also covered that in the UK. Similar numbers, dropping of digital gaming content, and just hardware sales have decreased because people are back at work. COVID isn't happening as much. And naturally, you know, that huge phenomenon in terms of how many games and how much software and hardware that was sold in the COVID pandemic, that's not gonna be the case anymore. So sadly, guys, all these companies that were making all the money in the world, it's not as profitable. COVID is profitable for these game companies. You know, they're like, hey, can you bring out another COVID variant, please? There was Omicron. There was God, there was a few. There was definitely there was a whole series of them, right? There was Omicron. There was help me out in the chat. There was a few of them. Why can I only remember Omicron right now? But there was definitely a franchise. There was a franchise of COVID. All right, and each one just kind of tried to outdo the last, like Fast and Furious. Speaking of that, who is going to see the Fast and Furious films? I'm not really a fan of Fast and Furious, but I thought Fast and Furious 10 was the last one. But apparently now they're going to be bringing out Fast and Furious 11, and that's the last one. That's the last one, guys. Who knows? Who knows? Quick Gamer says, people were saying Silk Song in Nintendo Indie Showcase. I think we get some news in Xbox June. Yeah, we haven't seen anything about Silk Song. We also haven't, speaking of Xbox, we've seen nothing about Elder Scrolls 6, man. And there's some stuff that I'll talk about tomorrow. I think that this is like a decade away or something. Who knows how long this goddamn game's going to take. BV says, it's supply and demand as well. We have an oversupply of games. I think more and more people are ending up with big backlogs. Some may say may cool the brakes on new purchases. I mean, look, there's a lot of great games out there, but there was also some pretty decent games through COVID too. But there was some kind of developers that said, hey, we need to push back our game through COVID because, you know, we can't work at the same capacity. So it's hard to distinguish between was COVID at a certain time where people were just purchasing more games because they were at home, or was it just heaps of brilliant games out in that period? I would say it's probably the former. I would say it's because everyone's at home bored and they just want to play games. And if they had a partner, there's other things they can do too, as I've said before. But once you've done that for 2.5 minutes, there's another 23 hours of that day that you need to fill with some entertainment. Omicron was there we go. Omicron was the most recent. Then there's the Delta strain. There was an alpha. Was it an alpha strain too? God, there's just too many strains. It's straining on the mind to think of how many strains. Okay. Quick Gamer says Elder Scrolls 6 2026 minimum. GTA 6 2025 or 2026. Yeah. Yep. I feel like Elder Scrolls 6 is going to be longer than 2026. I think. Great name, Mum's Poop Sock. Sam, what are your thoughts about the current state of gaming? Poopy. Thank you. All right. Well, I feel like we should take that comment very seriously, but I will give it a grain of seriousness. Current state of gaming is great. I think we're seeing more and more fantastic titles come out. I think that Xbox is lagging big time, and we're going to be talking about that in just a minute, actually, in terms of the console sales in some areas of the world. But all in all, man, strength to strength, monetization in the world has definitely decreased in terms of AAA games. So I'm thinking we're better off now than we were in 2018. That's for sure. Son Wilson says, were there any news about the game starring Vin Diesel? No, I didn't cover that. If you're talking about the Indie Showcase featuring Vin Diesel, is that what you mean? No, I didn't cover anything about that, my friend. But maybe in the future, if it's worth covering. Grim says, good to see you back on the interwebs and making content. Are you back for good or just testing things out? I think I'm back for good. I enjoy doing this with you. I enjoy waking up in the morning, getting the show ready. I get the show ready at night, actually. Get the thumbnail ready. Wake up and then hang out with you guys, man. I enjoy doing it. Absolutely. So if you guys are enjoying it, Arc 2, I did see some stuff on Twitter regarding that. I didn't include that in the show because I didn't do any research on that. So I might do it tomorrow. Who knows? What else? What else? Okay, I was going to show you this in a second, but I really wanted to show you. Here we go. This is what I wanted to show you. Okay. So this is interesting. So Phil Spencer.
Japan is our fastest growing region.
I'm sorry, Phil, did you say that Japan is your fastest growing region? Okay, let's have a look.
We learn from the past.
You learn from the past. Okay, yeah, good. So how many hardware sales were in Japan last week for Xbox Series X? 147. 149 for the Series X. For the Series S. PS5, 39,799. I mean, if that doesn't tell you that Xbox has a very minuscule footprint in Japan, I don't know what else will. But look, there's been a lot of talk recently about, you know, Sony and their exclusivity deals, especially in Japan, that they try and kind of lock in to gate out Xbox from actually competing in the Japanese market. Xbox has never been a huge player in Japan. It's never really been a thing for them. I think, you know, the Xbox 360 probably did a little bit better. It was the dominant console at the time. But PlayStation 5 just absolutely obliterates Xbox Series X and S in Japan. So, I don't know, Phil. I don't agree with that, my friend. I think you're telling a bit of porcupines there. I don't think...
Japan is our fastest growing region worldwide.
That is a fucking lie. Okay? Well, unless everywhere else in the world, I mean, maybe the US for this week only sold 100 units. Then that would be... then that would be correct. I mean, if everywhere else is only selling 50, 60, 70 units and Japan's selling 149, then I'm telling you he's correct, but I don't think that's the case. I don't think that's the case. Sam, have you tried the new Minecraft game? I haven't actually heard really good things. Sheila did a review of that and he said it was really good. So actually I do want to check it out. CJ says there's one guy buying 150 Xboxes every month. It's probably Phil just like flying there and being like, how much stock do you have of Xboxes? They're like, so many. No one wants this fucking thing. Oh, I'll take them all. I'll take them all. In Asia in general too, I assume. Yeah, look, from what I know Japan especially isn't a big fan of Xbox in terms of playing their games, purchasing their hardware, and being on that ecosystem. I don't think they'll ever penetrate that market. I don't think they'll ever Rule 34 that market. Okay, I don't think it's ever going to happen. Whoop-ass Stew says Xbox has always been incredibly small in Japan. Exactly, yeah, I agree. Always. Nintendo and PlayStation have always had an absolute monopoly on gaming in their home country. Yep. For sure. For sure. So that's interesting, and I don't agree. I don't agree with that statement, Phil. I think you're telling porcupines, my friend. Speaking of very important stuff to include here, it's Conan O'Brien eating fried chicken and then crashing his car. Let's watch this. The AI is struggling here to get him right. I mean, his face just looks like a moon face. He's just covered in chicken. The car... He's alive. AI didn't want to kill him. Okay. AI is good then. AI doesn't want to kill us. Fair enough. Okay, that's good to know that they're at least like, no, we'll let Conan O'Brien live in this simulation. But in real life, though, if we took physical form, maybe not. Who watches Conan O'Brien? Oh, actually, he's gone now. I forgot about that. That's right. He's gone now. He did retire. Wow, a mountain of chicken. A mountain of chicken. AI is not only good for, writing essays in school, it's also good for the memes. It's probably the best for the memes. Let's be honest here. Someone says he hungry. He hungry for sure. That brother's thirsty. Brother is thirsty. I don't see how that looks any different to the real guy. Yeah, a little bit. This animation is special. Yeah, very special. I used to watch him. Okay, you used to watch him. Quick Gunny used to watch him. This is what Dreams looks like. Speaking of Dreams, you know that they recently they stopped support for Dreams, which is a shame. You know that game within PlayStation where you can make all sorts of amazing things within the game? They no longer are supporting it, which is a real shame. But that happened about a week or so ago, so that's not news, but everyone thought I'd let you guys know. Speaking of glitches and memes, Dead Island 2 off to a good start with the memes starting to trickle in here with this game. Now, it hasn't been very well received. It's getting 7s across the board, which in IGN terms, that's not great. All right. That's completely normal. That feels like a Cyberpunk 2077 glitch, you know? Looking good. Uh-oh. Oh, I thought it was the thing glitching. It was the game glitching. And the game was just like, you know what? We don't want you to be here anymore. Time to yeet you. Goodbye. Oh, man. The thing about a glitch, right, especially in the social media age, is it just spreads like wildfire. And the Layman Daily Show finds it and propagates it to the audience. But is a game good if it doesn't have 1 or 2 bugs? Ask Bethesda. You know, a game needs to have a few bugs, folks. The Spaz. Oh, snap. Gaming Layman live. Man, good to see you, man. I appreciate you. What else, guys? Now, this is crazy. Jesus Christ. $400,000 for a skin recently sold on Counter-Strike. Now, I know that the skin community, it's quite hefty how much these things can go for. So this particular skin, it's a bit of a mouthful. This skin is a minimal wear stat track tier 1 case hardened AK-47 with a blue gem pattern. And this blue type of pattern, the number 661, is the bluest blue gem one can get. It's sold for 400,000 freedom dollars, US dollars. That is crazy, man. I mean, I thought microtransactions were bad in Overwatch. I was like, $35 for an epic skin? Fuck that, Overwatch. I'm not doing that shit. I'll earn it for free. So many things you can't actually earn for free in Overwatch 2. It's a real pain in the ass. But this is crazy. This is like, you can buy a house for that. But you know what? Warren Buffett, he wouldn't buy a house. He'd buy this skin, right? It's smart. I mean, that's intelligent. Definitely intelligent. I think also Counter-Strike 2, it's in limited beta, but they did say that they're going to allow the skins to cross over, I think, to Counter-Strike 2. Because you know what? If they didn't, that would be a lot of money people would start losing. Because the value, I think, is very much about who is wanting to use these skins now in a game that has a population that's playing it. But that isn't the most hypothetical price for a Counter-Strike skin. The highest price was the Karambit knife, which was a $1.5 million bid. But the guy actually, he actually said no to the bid.
Do you remember when we talked about the most expensive skin in CSGO? That it's now apparently worth $1 million. I had a guy reach out to me who didn't have the owner added because that guy is kind of like really private. He's called Noobrage and he's held it for 4 years or 5 years or something. He told me to reach out to him with an offer of 1.2 million in Bitcoin. And I'm not talking about USD, I'm talking about euros, which converts to 1.5 million USD, $1.5 million. What did Noobrate say, the owner of this knife? He answered, hey, someone wants to offer $1.2 million in BTC. He told me to tell you. And then I realized it was euros. I realized afterwards. But this was his reply to 1.2. Not interested. 1.2 million is low. Then I asked him for a buyout. No reply. Do you remember when...
Dude, $1.5 million for a knife. This is a knife. That's crazy. I would sell that knife if someone... Okay, because I don't really play Counter-Strike and I don't understand the skin economy. If I was playing and someone's like, I'll give you $1,000 for the knife, I'd be like, $1,000? Holy shit, yeah. Far out, man. God, what a steal for me to get $1,000 out of a few pixels. A few ones and zeros. But that is, man, that's crazy, man. I almost feel like it's kind of on, look, if people want to pay it, people want to pay it. But man, I feel like, you know, Valve should be kind of deterring that type of price in gaming. I mean, I don't know, right? Maybe this is a boomer take, but I just think that 400 grand, and a lot of things go for 60 grand. I mean, there's a lot of types of skins in CS:GO that go for a hell of a lot of money. And I just think that, oh man, Valve should be like, hey guys, can we stop not purchasing houses and instead purchasing an AK-47 skin? Can we try that? What do you reckon? I don't know, man. You would have to declare it for taxes, right? I think so, the Spaz. I think that would be a thing, right? Well, it depends, right? Each area is different. Each, you know what? You should go to Dubai, then buy it. Buy it in Dubai. And then you're like, no taxes. No taxes, guys. No taxes. Oh, God. Yes, but I saw another comment before saying, the whales, they're out there. Absolutely, CJ. There's a lot of people out there that will buy anything and everything. There's some whales in Bitcoin, but there's also some whales in CSGO. You know what? Just maybe start busking in CSGO, being like, hey man, can you spare me an AK-47 skin? Need to feed my family. And maybe a whale will walk past and go, I got you, brother. I got you, man. Here's a knife. Here's a knife. It's worth, I don't know, 1.5 million. Just, you know, enjoy it. Crazy. Another exciting news that's everybody loves this news, right? Square Enix triples down on blockchain with new deal even as other publishers flee. Okay. Now it's demonstrating this today via partnership with Web3 gaming platform Elixir with the intent of generating visibility and adoption of Web3 games among traditional gamers. Now, it's pretty light on the details as to how Square Enix and Elixir are going to be working together. But you can be damn sure that no one's wanting this, right? I've said before, NFTs, I think NFTs in the future, maybe they can find something that demonstrates true value. There's something in it that can be quite interesting, but I just think that we don't know what that is yet. And for Square Enix to try and do this nonsense, where, as it says in here, a lot of other publishers have kind of backed off the whole NFT thing. They know people don't really want it. For Square Enix to continue with this, I mean, they're just doubling down on something that I don't think is the future for gaming. And if it is the future for gaming, I don't want it, because there's enough predatory monetization and gambling and nonsense in here anyway. And $400,000 skins that are being sold. I mean, we got enough of this, right? We don't want to see NFTs now being included in this. See, as you guys probably know, if you guys are up to date on NFTs, how NFTs work is, if it continues to be sold in the marketplace, Square Enix can still take a cut, right? So if they're the original owner of something, they can determine if it's 3% or 10% or something in that vicinity where they can take a commission. So I think this is very much about them wanting to create products that they feel like they can continue to make money off. And they've recently done that also with some trading cards for Final Fantasy VII NFT trading cards, which no one wants, man. And if you want it, fine. Like, I'm not here to like rain in your parade. If you like NFTs, great. But I would say the vast majority of people, they don't want this shit, man. We haven't determined yet in the marketplace of NFTs what truly is valuable and what's not, what works for NFTs, what doesn't work. You know, we've seen, you know, there's so many NFTs out there that have sold for like $1 million and now they're selling for like 10 grand. The entire NFT market collapsed when the crypto market collapsed earlier in 2022. So I just think this is a bad move, man. And I think this will bite them in the ass big time. Why people pay for this? You mean the NFT stuff, or are you talking about the AK-47 skin? Regardless, I agree with both of them, right? Doesn't matter what you mention, what you're referring to. I agree with both. Okay, why are people paying for this shit, right? Like when I play Overwatch, right? I will grind for skins because I love a good skin in Overwatch, right? But I've never purchased a skin. I mean, when the game was when you had to purchase the game in Overwatch 1, it was a good system where, you know, you could just play and there'll be special events and you can actually you could try and you know, you finish you play a certain amount of the game and you actually get to the end of the level and then you get a free loot box. And if you play hundreds of hours like I did, I pretty much had all the skins without having to purchase anything. Now it's gone free to play. They've changed the model and I'm not a huge fan of that new model. But you know, I think games in general have shifted away from predatory monetization. Sometimes we're still seeing that with FIFA Ultimate Team and gambling games and all that kind of stuff. And Square Enix, I think, is kind of chasing something that it's all about money. It's not actually about substance. That's where I was going with that. I just think it's all about the money. It's nothing about substance. I don't think Square Enix truly believes in Final Fantasy VII NFT trading cards. It's really about them just trying to make as much money off their IP as possible. In some way, I would say in a somewhat predatory way. Because again, NFTs, nothing at the moment shows that we have a steady understanding of the marketplace and how much things should actually be worth. So people could be selling this shit, and before you know it, you know, you've purchased a Final Fantasy VII NFT trading card for, I don't know, $1,000 in the future, and now it's only worth $30. Like, that can easily happen, you know? This is interesting. Who's excited for Fantastic Four? Looks like Adam Driver is in final talks. Final talks to do Fantastic Four. I could see him as Fantastic Four. As the main dude. Reed Richards, that's right, Reed Richards. I could see that. I love Adam Driver. Let me just say, anything Adam Driver does, I kind of love it. Marriage Story, loved it. His role in Star Wars, I liked it. His particular performance, I just love Adam. I just love Adam Driver. Obviously have a man crush on the dude. It's okay to have a man crush on an actor. Okay, we all have our man crushes. Leo DiCaprio, I'll watch anything he does. Russell Crowe, I'll watch anything he does, even though I'll get copyright struck yesterday and review it. I'll still watch whatever Russell does. So that's exciting. And to finish off, guys, why not? We love the Balenciaga, and they've got one for the presidents.
Fashion, not world. We are Balenciaga.
World Leaders by Balenciaga.
Joe Biden's looking real fresh. I gotta say, it kind of looks like he can put a full sentence together there. I mean, he's looking really fresh. He's looking good. And I think he knows what he's doing. Okay, he looks like Anakin Skywalker in Revenge of the Sith. Isn't that what he was wearing? I mean, he's looking real Sith-like there. Putin's looking real nice. There should have been one of him on the horse, but they didn't do it. Real shame. Zelensky looking young there. He's not, you know... The war clearly aged him, but AI brought him back to prime Chad. Jong-un. That looks so real. He looks so real there. Like it... Okay, Xi Jinping looks a bit thin there. He's a little, you know... Let's be real. He's a bit more round in the face. He looks like he's lost a bit of weight there. I don't think they've got that right. Angela Merkel, looking fresh. Okay, Emmanuel Macron was already a bit of a stud. He just looks like... Oh my god, that's great. He just looks like a menace. Hillary Clinton. Everyone loves Hillary, right? Everyone loves Hillary. And Barack closing it off to look like an absolute scucks deluxe. Looking absolutely sensational.
Thanks for watching.
Thank you for watching. And guys, thank you guys for watching. Damn, Putin, throw your invasion. Putin, throw your invasion this way, you hunk. Absolutely. He's looking real fresh there. He's looking real fresh there. BV, I will I will not say that comment. But yeah, they can't make Z fat. They will get crucified. The thing is, right, we're not fat shaming here. There's nothing wrong with being a bit pudgy, but they obviously didn't want to do it here, and he's not looking his full self. I'll put it that way. He's not looking his full self here. Okay? No change in Hillary's attire. That's so true, actually. That does. She does wear a lot of that stuff. Balenciaga obviously has been dressing her for years, and she's just kind of doubling down. Yeah, that's kind of what she would wear in the kind of in the presidential debate. Yeah, for sure. All right, guys. Boris looks like a YouTuber. He actually does there. He honestly looks like a YouTuber there. Absolutely. All right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. I love you. Appreciate you. Thank you all so much for the support. You guys are always really just making sure. Yeah. Guys, I will see you guys next time for all the wonderful memes, reviews, and discussions. I'll probably be back tomorrow if there's news. If there is, then I'll be back. And if there's not, then I'll see you Monday. Have a wonderful, wonderful day, evening, wherever you're at. See you soon. Laymen out.